Oh, there she is. We saw this Morganser. She had babies a couple months ago, and she had 13 of them, and they were following her around, and some of them were riding on her back and stuff. And I think they've all grown up now and flown the coop. And we've been watching. Here's some mallards. Here's a couple mallards. Well, there's just one there, and usually we'll see quite a few more. And one of the mamas had 4 mallard babies, and one had 7, and they just keep frequenting along here. There's more down over in there, and we kind of watch them and enjoy that. It's always kind of fun to live along the river if you ever get a chance. All right, where are we? Where are we now with our project? Okay, our next step, do you know what it is? We've got all the Teflon tape off of there, and we've got to put an elbow on there. I've got, just happen to have a 1/2-inch elbow there and a 1/2-inch nipple right there. We're going to install those next. Speaking of birds, Mommy set up this little birdhouse there, and she put the suet cakes on both sides and the regular bird seed. And the suet cake, sometimes you get different suet cakes and they leave marks on your deck. And we got to figure out which one, because she always likes to get different kinds. And one particular one, when they do their business, it gets on the deck. I just cleaned this deck twice now, and I still see the little dots. But oh, see, there's one there. But we get little small woodpeckers, and then the bigger woodpeckers, and then we've got some stellar jays in there, and all kinds of stuff. It's just interesting to see. A few months ago, we had a raccoon with her baby. It was down there, and usually we'll have there's more of the ducks, and usually we'll get squirrels romping around over here. They had a whole slew of babies here a little while ago. And then we get a local beaver who comes from upstream down here first thing in the morning, last thing at night before it gets too dark, after sunset. And she comes along here and chews on our tree and goes up and down here. So all kinds of interesting things down by the river. Oh, what is that down there? Okay, I think those are, I can't tell from here. I think those are mallards. There might be a Morganser. I can't really tell through this screen or not. But the Morganser, when she had her baby, she had them on that rock there, and they were just going back and forth. It was a sight to behold. Okay, get back here. Oh, it's Mommy. She just got these, and we've been looking out for a not woodpecker, hummingbirds. And lots of times they don't come down by this river for some reason. She said, she just saw one come to here. She put out a hummingbird feeder the other day here, and after she did it, you should have seen all the ants trailing along here up into there, because for some reason they smelled the sugar water that she mixed up for them. And then the ants went down here, went up the downspout and up on the roof. And I told her, I said, don't buy any ant spray. She did, and she sprayed some of them, but I put these trays out. See this? Taro liquid ant baits. That's what you want for ants. And they go inside there. You cut the end off, and it's just liquid in there, and you just set the tray down. The ants go in there, and then they take some of that, and it gets on their feelers, and it gets on their feet and stuff, and then they take that back to the nest. And then other ants smell that, and then they start eating it. Pretty soon the whole ant nest, wherever it goes, is dead. And so that's a good way to get rid of ants. I hate spraying for ants, because when you spray for ants, yeah, you kill the ants that are right here, but you don't kill the ants that are going to come down a half hour later from their nest coming along here again. You spray again, you're not going to get the other ones that haven't come down yet. So remember that when you've got ants, get the Taro liquid ant bait trays. Those work really good. Okay, time to put the Teflon tape on. And here's my elbow. I don't even have to do anything with that just yet. I want to get this Teflon tape on. And I got to remember to put it on the right direction. And you know, you can hold it up there and then kind of mimic. Like if I pull that off, this is going to be the end of it wrapped around, and it's going to be going to the left. And when I tighten the nut, I'm going to be tightening the nut the other way. So see, that's not the right way to put it on. I got to put it on the very opposite direction, and I try to make it nice and flat. Try not to get any creases on it. Okay. And now I'm going to overlap it a little. I'll give it a few more spins. I'm going to get a little bit more up there high. Okay. Nice and clean to use Teflon tape. Now I can pull that off. Take this nice and flat. Okay. And see how the end is going that way, right? Like that. That's the proper way to put your Teflon tape on. And years ago, they didn't used to use Teflon tape on gas pipe or galvanized pipe for water lines or gas or whatever. And they used to use pipe dope for galvanized pipe. And years ago, when I did residential, the guy I was working with, he used Rector Seal. It's called Rector Seal, and he would put that on galvanized pipe sometimes, but specifically gas line pipe. Rector Seal. Oh, that stuff works good. But see, I only need to do a few things. I'm not going to buy a whole thing of that Rector Seal, and I'm sure they have it nowadays. But lots of times they just use Teflon tape. You know, for small little projects like what I'm doing here, I think if you were hooking up gas lines that were on pressure all the time underneath the house and stuff, I think they would probably use something else. I'd probably use Rector Seal or go to the store and find out what else they use. But I was talking to the guys and they said, yeah, Teflon tape is fine for what you're doing. And so that's what I decided to use. Nice and clean.